and we still don't have a resolution to that. So that's the person they want as your interim clerk. And then Melissa noted that she served on the resident advisory committee for the clerk selection, and then that whole process was just not appropriate because the lady that's interim clerk, she has overseen so much financial, so many financial shenanigans on different boards over the years. And her husband is an alderman. Like, you got nepotism, cronyism, oh man. Then for the most part, the aldermanic comments were kind of forgettable. Although it was funny because what's his name? Roger said, he's like, my queen, she's a 12 out of 10. I'm like, a 12 out of 10 for stealing money? Maybe. I mean, what has happened to the South End of Chicago? We used to be bonded ever since Tiffany, and now we're just divided. Oh, I don't know, Jabbar. I don't know if it was that simple, but all right. I'm almost done here. Like I said, I just wanted to do a quick summary, and then I'll let Diana. She wanted to make a few comments too. Okay, so we finished that, and even Shirley's remarks were not really very interesting or particularly notable, I don't think. Let's see what she said. There's a little press conference.
I think City Council for the confidence and a deep sense. I am.
Oh my God! I'm sorry, that reception is horrible. Woo.
You made the ultimate.
Okay, that's not very helpful. Now let's see if it caught any of how Alicia was harassing me.
I'll show it to the judge.
Oh yeah, here.
I'm not going to ask you again. You need to leave me alone.
Same question you just asked the mayor. I'm doing the same thing. Did you feel harassed when you put the police report on an 80-year-old black woman for nothing? You said she was harassing you because you made a racist comment and she responded.
Well, eventually, yeah. So I got some of that in video. Eventually, she did leave. Thank God, these people are crazy. Okay. Hey, Miss Diana, how are you? So yeah, tell us what your impression was of the meeting tonight.
That was a shit show.
That's a great summary. I like that.
That was a shit show. First of all, did you? First of all, let's go back to the end. That reporter, I don't know if you were listening to him, but the one who was the black guy who was bent down talking, he asked Shirley Jawinski about Rogers and being pardoned and being mistrusted. And they giving the personal information, the same person who got pardoned. I said, oh, and then the police gonna make me leave.
They chased you out too, because I was trying to film with my other camera because the reception was so bad. Because I did catch on film that the police were chasing out Chappelle. And I'm like, what the heck, you guys? Like, she's not bothering him. She just wanted to listen to what was going on. I don't understand what they're so inappropriate with that,
And another thing, I could have out of 11 candidates, and it's the best one you can get who already got 3 or 4 jobs. It lets me know it's not about what you know here; it's about who you know.
Right, exactly. And I said I think Diana, honestly, she's probably about the worst. Janet Rogers, we're talking about. It's probably about the worst person they could have selected for interim clerk because she has a long track record of, first of all, she was convicted of fraud. And she had a felony, and she was removed from her position on the 152 school board. But then she got pardoned, I'm told, because of connections with Frank Zuccarelli, and for whatever reason, he wanted to protect her and Tyrone. So he and the Democratic machine got Governor Pat Quinn to pardon her. So then she was able to get back on 152. And then there's a scandal about her.
The chicken wings.
The chicken wing scandal there. She was hired and she was totally unqualified for a board at the mosquito abatement board. But she was making big money doing that until people complained. Like this woman, it's like wherever you want to find people stealing money or scandal in the Harvey area, Janet Rogers shows up. Like literally, it's like, could you think of anyone worse? And not only
No.
that, but she has, as that reporter pointed out, which I agree with you, she has not only is she signing our checks, right? Because they don't let the treasurer do the job.
Mm.
Treasurer should. The clerk has been signing the checks. Rosa has for the past few years, and she has access to all the documents.
Wait. Not the lady who was associated with stealing the $1 million chicken wings. They gonna let her write the
Yeah.
checks. They gonna write the checks. Man.
Oh my God. It's just like it is just insane. So I
We
think
don't have no money.
I know it's like if anyone had a doubt after, Clark's absence about where most of these aldermen, wanted to take the city, I don't think you can argue now that they want to steal more money. Because why? Like Janet Rogers is your girl. If you want to steal money and you want to cover it up, like that's what you bring her in for.
But not only that, I cannot believe, was it 11 applications they received
Right.
or
It's like
not?
like nobody else. Nobody else. How did she get to the end?
How did she get to the end? Who did she sleep with?
Tyrone, at least. I mean, not other people. I don't know. I can't say.
Oh my God, I think that's just a slap in the face for residents, to be honest. And I do have an issue with nepotism and whatnot. The issue is, let's think about it, Ryan.
Hmm.
She got so many goddamn jobs. Here's my French. What if one of those boys fall through the hole? Then that's another lawsuit because you got 3 or 4, 5 jobs.
Exactly.
You're
Right.
gonna get an assistant to do your job, and then you're gonna come in and do the work. How is this gonna work?
Right. And then you're costing taxpayers a lot more money because, you're supposed to actually like do the job. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the same issue with like at the township with Clerk Nesbitt. That's my same problem. Remember when they were trying to guilt people, apparently into not filing FOIA requests because they were like, oh, it cost us $2,000 or however much for each FOIA. It's like, well, who the f cares? Like, you guys need to straighten it out because this woman, Casey Nesbitt, she's the clerk. She does FOIA. She's paid for it. Well, too bad if she works full time at the MWRD and she's also a School Board 152 member and she also serves full time as DOTS, on the DOTS board and works closely with Napoleon. Too bad.
This is what I'm talking about in the Southland.
Yes.
Everybody got 5 or 6 teeth. Teeth. I read in the comment. 5 or 6 jobs.
Yes, exactly.
One person. You can't do everything. If you can't do the best job, if you're doing 3 and 4 jobs,
No.
do the job that pays you. Let somebody else who have the time to do it, so that we can stay out of financial situations.
Right.
Everybody, and I go all the way down, got 5 and 6 jobs.
Right. It's crazy. It's always the same people. And you can't tell me it's because we don't have other qualified people because we do.
Oh yeah, that's
So,
crazy.
sorry, I just want let's get caught up with the comments. I don't
Oh yeah, I was reading.
Vic Shirley can handle herself with that husky voice. Oh Lord. She can handle herself to steal more money like she's been doing. What has to happen before we bond against corruption the way we did in 2024? Does an elected official have to be an uneducated narcissist? I would say, Paul, I think a lot of it, though, remember, the people that wanted Tiffany gone, that was a paid outside operation. So the Democratic establishment, the machine, they were paying a lot of actors. Remember, we found out even some of the, like Alicia Nicole, even some of the independent YouTubers, we found out were not so independent. There were stories that were leaked to to like what's his name, Hannibal, and I mean there was just so much that went on there. So I think that's in a way why you saw maybe more of a movement because it was orchestrated to be that way. Because we have the same concerns now, for instance, about the township as we did when Tiffany was in there. So why did everybody get quiet? Because now it's not engineered, right? No one's getting paid. No one's getting paid to get Napo out of there. They got the person in they wanted to get in. When will you, Amir, and Chris join together for a live? Chris who?
Right, Christopher Moore.
Oh, okay. Christopher Moore did come on an audio live with Amir. I don't know, Solomon. That would be fun. I would do that. Melissa should be the clerk. Yeah, like Melissa, to me, she seems like she's a detail-oriented person. Like I think that would be a good, like she would have been a great candidate, right? Governor Pat shot her a pardon. Right, that was Pat Quinn. Your teeth
Mhm.
are beautiful. Oh, that's nice. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's for you, Diane. I think Clive.
thanks.
Oh, D-Love. D-Love. They really tried not to let Colby talk
Oh,
because right, exactly. It was a little bit better than Clark, I would say, but still you noticed that it was just very like, are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Like Shirley kept interrupting. I'm like, just let them talk. Like, damn. Where's Wyoming girl? Oh, I don't know. If you look in the Webster dictionary for government recipient, you'll see a picture of her. Oh, of Janet. Oh man. So yeah, I don't know. That was I agree. That was a big shit show.
that was very hurtful this evening. I try to ask a question. First of all, Rogers tried to go over me because originally I said when he gave the microphone to Kobe's mother, I said I'm next, and then we came and got the microphone. I said, Mike, I want to talk. I didn't yell that loud, and he looked down and he just kept walking.
Mm.
That's why I had raised my hand. I'm like, but it didn't make no sense, Ryan. Like you gonna tell us on one breath you done got the grant money to buy to build what she said, jail cells, and then turn around and say, oh no, we ain't gonna let no money get away.
Right. And you know what they didn't answer is, and no one really clarified it, but it's fine. But so my understanding of it is they got the grant, and he was right. Like Will Davis was involved because again he's very very close to Clark, in that little group. He's our state rep. Will Davis, maybe comment something else, whatever. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. They got the grant the first time around, even though I think the project was stupid. It's like come up with another project. But remember, they don't care. This is why I keep telling people they steal money from grants. So they always. It's not about the quality of what the project does. They're literally saying, okay, these grants are available. What can we come up with that's a project that sounds kind of halfway decent that we can pass off, as legit to the public, like 154th Street. I always tell people that's the one street that was like in really good shape, for especially in the downtown. Why would they redo that street? It doesn't matter. They don't care. They just want the grant money. They'll be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a grant to fix up the I don't know, the front porch on Diana's house for $5 million. They don't care. They're looking at the money. The money. Okay, good. We got the grant, and then people are like, "But why? Why her porch looks fine? Why do you need $5 million?" They don't care about that shit. They don't care because it's about the money. They will literally make any grant fit, and it doesn't. It can be the stupidest project, and that's why this thing never made sense from the beginning. These three little buildings. It never made sense from the beginning. But my understanding is they got the money. They didn't finish them. They just started constructing a few of them, and then they stopped and they sat vacant for a long time. And then people were like, "Well, what's going on? What's going on?" And they said, "Oh, we had a problem with the contractor. We were never told who the contractor was. We were never told how much money they were paid. We were never told how much money was left over because remember that whole that whole amount of money was supposed to be for 6 buildings. So all that grant supposedly disappeared, and they said, "Oh, well, we had to stop because we ran out of money." Will Davis got more money to finish the 6. Yes, more money. So they had someone. It's like if someone says, "Here, I want a burrito. I'll give you $5." So you get paid you take your $5, and you give them like a little piece of rice, you know what I mean? And then they're like, oh well, oh oops, well I had a problem with the cook, and what do you mean? Well, I had a problem, oh, and I can't give you your burrito. Can I get more money? And then you give them $10 more, and then they came back with like 2 beans and rice, so because we didn't even though they got a second grant that they weren't supposed to get, we still didn't get 6 buildings. So my question is, where's the money?
No. Remember, he said we not gonna let that money go. We gonna take that money and figure it out later.
Right. And you know what? I think he told the truth. He told the truth.
He told the truth. He did tell the
Because
truth.
he just didn't say, where it went. But that's why they don't want to open those books.
Yeah, and they need to. And what pissed me off tonight, he talking about the finished little buildings that they did. First of all, they not over here. It looks terrible on Halsted Street. And you should be bragging about that. What's going on into another community, another ward, and your ward look like sugar honey iced tea.
Exactly. Right.
And then he had the nerve, the galls to raise his voice and didn't want to talk no more in the meeting tonight.
I know he's so rude to the residents, you know. Ryan and Saul. Tyrone probably plays James Brown during his groove. Oh, I don't know, but I also said in the comments for my live as it was going on, I reminded people, I said, he's the guy where that his ward looks horrible, but he loves to be seen driving around in his expensive cars and his
Yes.
expensive suits.
Yes.
But his ward looks horrible. It's like, why are you so willing to like show off? Like you should be ashamed. You shouldn't be proud of that. Like, are your residents supposed to be happy that you look so good and their box looks like crap?
Did I freeze it, Ryan? Yes, we have over here. Our streets are horrible, horrible, and I don't know, horrible. A lot of vacant lots, abandoned homes. Just this week, was that this week or last week? Somebody done ran into somebody's house. I'm like, dang.
Oh, that's right.
You ain't
Yeah,
talked
no,
about that.
he didn't because what was it? The person was shot. I don't know what it was, but the person was
Mm-hmm.
killed in the car and then ran into two
Mm-hmm.
houses. And that was in Tyrone's ward. And all we heard from him
Yes.
tonight was like, "Well, my queen, she's a 12 out of 10. Congratulations." Like, what
12
about
out
that
of 10.
Yeah,
12 out of 10.
that's what he said.
I
Oh,
was so disappointed in this whole process. And
right.
still am.
Hmm. Oh, and Crook, I don't know. Ryan Solomon is in the chat. Is that Max? I don't know. Solomon Brown, he wants to know if you're Max Solomon. I don't think so, but the structure of Chicago politics is jacked up. No other place in the U.S. do people get to serve in multiple rows. I mean, yeah, like not this many. It's crazy. That law needs to be passed to limit titles. The park and the library notes are a joke. Yep.
They're not going to do that.
Limit political roles. No, they never. That's why I'm saying, like, we're gonna have to fight as the people because they'll never give it up voluntarily.
No.
When Keith Rice held 4 simultaneous public positions, a judge made him give up 3. Let's find that judge. Yeah.
Mhm.
Please focus on my question above. The park board is a complete joke. The people on the board qualify based on what? Oh yeah. Well, that's something that the McCaskills are involved in. Yeah, that's a huge thing, and there's a lawsuit pending, and yeah.
Mm.
What will happen with Jedediah and his fake builders as a result of this shift in leadership? So that's what I was going to ask you, actually, D-Love. I don't know if you have to work tomorrow, what your schedule is, but they're supposed to have a groundbreaking at 1 p.m. for this Turlington Homes LLC.
Oh, okay. Text it to me.
So I'm like, you guys you literally can't get anything done. Like, why are you so fast to do this? Again, to me, it just says they want money, obviously. Money's coming through for somebody. Because it's crazy. Like, how would you do that? Like, and remember that company is super shady. It's associated with that law firm that Jed is connected to. And they've had all these problems. And the company was just started the same month that the city gave them the property. The whole thing is wrong. It's just.
And let's go back to what I just said. In Harvey, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yep.
And it's not going to stop.
Yep.
And I'm just, oh my God, I'm so frustrated about being out here sometimes. I'm ready to move because they don't get it. They don't want no young people to speak up. They want all these old heads to stay in these spots. And my whole thing is, if you live in Harvey 20, 30, 40 years ago, and you're okay with what's going on now,
right.
Come on.
Right. No, exactly. Preach it.
I'm
Now, what
just
did you
saying.
say? Comments. Brian, you're going a long time. What do you mean, Solomon? I don't understand. We're going a long time? Actually, I haven't been on that long, considering the meetings were really long. But
Oh my God.
You have to clarify, Solomon. I don't know.
Yeah. So I just had to come on. Normally I don't be trying to get on your platform, but I just had to say that, Run, because this tonight was really a sugar honey iced tea show. I just couldn't believe the things that they were saying, and how they
Yeah.
was treating and rushing us out of the meeting. I'm like, this is just the same. Nothing changed since last year. Just the person done changed, but the situation's still the same.
Right. Right. No app.
$60,000 and y'all not questioning it?
Right. And you notice their big concern for that when Colby asked the question. Oh, okay. You said that you're not max. Okay, I didn't think so. And what you got money? But yeah, Salma, what do you mean though about going a long time? That I don't understand that.
I don't know.
But it was funny because Shirley and Tyrone and them, their concern was trying to argue to say, oh, that wasn't for that. It wasn't for that set of bills. Or it's like, who cares? Like you're ignoring the elephant in the room again because they will never ever tell us where the money's going. They will. I'm convinced they never will unless something's going to have to make them do it.
So let me ask you this then. That time we were outside, you and I, after the meeting. That was last month, and Randall L he voted for himself to be the acting mayor. Now he going
Right.
along with this. What done change?
Good question. Who said it was Melissa? I think Melissa's comment. Remember, she said enough with the secret meetings. The meetings they're having
Mm-hmm.
because like it's like in the
Yes.
township. There's very rarely any questions or arguments or anything. You know that they've already decided everything behind closed doors.
Yes, exactly. And I said Harvey has now become the official reality TV show.
Right. Oh my God, yes.
From the comments down to the board.
Yep.
He a joke. Like, who's gonna take us seriously? So you telling me, and I'm not gonna hold you long, Ryan. So you gonna tell me
you're
we
fine.
got to pay?
I love to have guests. It's fun.
I do too. I know the feeling. Hey, Ryan, so you gonna tell me we got to pay this man? I don't know who he is. $60,000 a month to go to Springfield. We don't know what he doing with the money, but they working on pushing our stuff through. So we gotta pay somebody to make our stuff move.
Right.
That sounds like some shady, what, doesn't it?
Yeah, and remember, we someone was doing research. I forget who reminded me of it. Maybe it's all McHugh, but we found out last year, or we found out, last March, Will Davis, our state rep, who was very close with Clark, introduced that bill to get the $30 million in basically a state bailout, and it has been stuck in committee ever since. So, like you said, well, so if we're paying all this money, then obviously the lobbying is not working because it's just been sitting in committee. Like what?
I got to pull my calculator up. I got to figure out what's 60 times 12. Because that controller show don't have no answers over there. I don't care what they say about him.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he does, but he's not gonna spill the beans.
Hold on, Ryan. How much do you think he get paid? Whoever this person is, they get paid $720,000 a year. Drop the mic on that. How many firemen can we pay with that? How many police officers can we pay with that?
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
That makes no sense.
And then they have the audacity to say to our faces, and Shirley said that in her press conference too. Oh, we really do want to hire the people back. Like that's BS. No, you don't. If you did, you would cut other things. You don't cut any expenses. You spare no expenses for yourselves. You give
your police detail.
Right. Yep.
And first of all, Ryan, don't talk about it. Do it. Show us. Don't tell us. It's all for show.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What the world? I said, and they didn't want to answer. No matter how many times Kobe asked that question about that $60,000 a month. No matter any way that she tried to bring it, they ain't never want to explain.
Right, you could tell they were like. That's why I laugh because I literally say like they do everything and anything but show you where the money is. Like they get Alicia to come up and say, oh, I'm a racist. I'm such a racist. I'm a horrible person. I'm a racist.
I didn't know you was racist.
With police reports on, an 80-year-old, the poor lady. It's like all this drama and stuff. It's not true because they have to. Like they literally, they don't have anything that they can say.
I didn't know you was racist. Oh my God! And I'm friends with you.
I am so horrible. Yes, according to Alicia Nicole, I'm right. I'm like, oh wow, I'm such a horrible person. Yes.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh, isn't that something?
Okay, Alicia Nicole, girl, where you been, girl? Well, where were you when we were covering Harvey and you were in Dalton? But anyway. Hey DMG, and polyester's not expensive. He looks a mess. What's his name? Oh, we were talking about Tyrone Rogers. Just like I said at the meeting, they will only do the Broadway project and not fix anything else. But Family Dollar is back open on Sibley and Wood. Oh yay! They finally reopened.
Oh, are they?
That's good. That's according to Michael. I didn't notice when I drove by. Pay attention to that shady deal. It will go through with Big Shirley, fake builders. That's what I think too, Solomon. Yep. Are Tyrone and Shirley outrageous enough to give the Harvey reality TV show good ratings like Tiffany got? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm telling you, the fact that they put Janet in, that's really bold. That's a really bold.
Ooh.
I hope she gets a lot of heat for that. She should. Tinley spent millions of dollars on lobbying firms in 4 years. Oh, I believe it. Yes, it's not only in just the rundown towns. This happens everywhere.
Hey, Ryan.
All mayors have private security. Well, no, private security I'm fine with. If they take some of the money that we already pay them for their salary and they want to hire a security person, I'm fine with that. You know, our issue is, you know, she's pulled, just like Clark did, she's pulling patrol officers off the streets to be her security. So we're paying for it. That's probably what you meant.
How many police officers were in the room?
Oh,
Ryan.
yeah. Good question.
Okay, I didn't know if you came out. Microphone came out. Did you count how many police officers were in that room tonight?
Oh yeah, there were probably what, at least 10?
12. I saw 12. I don't see 12 on the street.
No, and there aren't. I'm telling you, I have several sources that assure me. They're like, nope. And I said, but what about all these higher ups? Like you saw a lot of the white shirts there, you know, everything else. And from what my sources tell me, they're like, they never do. They sit their butts around at the police station on Dixie Highway, and they let the 3 or 4 officers that are on patrol, they let them just run around crazy all day. They don't help them. They don't go on any calls. They do nothing. And the chief makes like 100-some thousand, I know.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, what do you do? What do you do for that money? Like, who's getting $60K?
The lobbyists.
Yeah, that was.
How long is that contract for?
Right. I didn't even get to bring up the flock safety cameras because that's a 5-year, $2.3 million contract, I think, for those shady cameras. Late for the recap. Oh, that's okay, Brian. You're welcome to do the replay too. She should have been stopped. Yeah. No reality show for Big Cheryl or Tyrone. Maybe when Colby takes over. I don't know. What qualifies for Chappelle, Price's wife, and that guy suing the park commission for the job?
That's a whole different story.
So yeah, that is. It's a different story, but basically, I'm trying to think of the parks. Oh, okay. So they're alleging that Wayman Cotton was illegally removed as a trustee, and that they illegally appointed Floyd Coleman as trustee to take his place, and Floyd lost the election. And then what else at the parks was it? That they're getting locked out of all their emails and everything. Ryan's half Jewish, so is Roberts. No, I'm not half Jewish. 12 is a lot of police officers. 15 cops. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
There were 15. Okay, so I gotta miss the other 3.
But Michael, you had some excellent points. I'm so glad that you spoke up, and I'm glad you spoke up. Yeah. And you were very just plain. You just spoke plainly. That's what I like. I tell people you don't need a special training. You don't need a degree. You don't have to be a certain age, color, whatever. You can be like, oh, I don't like speaking in public. I'm afraid. That's okay. We need people to be authentic and just engage and say how you feel. Like, do you like people stealing from you? No. Right. And everybody can say that. You know what I mean? It's not like you don't have to say, oh, I didn't prepare a speech, or, I'm a girl, they're not going to listen to it, or whatever. It's like, no, just be yourself, come on out. Oh, you said you were just kidding, Jamar. Okay.
Yeah. This meeting lets you know how the next year is going to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. we got a lot of work to do.
And listen, I see the police been on my blocks. I said, oh my God, I never see the police. I see they tow somebody's car.
Right, I'm telling you that the towing, just that alone, like that is a huge story alone. Like they make I don't know how many thousands each week in towing
Mm,
fees. Like it's
mm.
crazy, and that money is going somewhere. Like it's going somewhere. They of course they won't say where, but like it's not just sitting out there in an account.
It's
It,
definitely not in the general. Oh, speaking of the finances, I'm glad that they let the treasurer speak tonight. I'm glad the treasurer said he adjusted her what she sent in her spreadsheet, but she's gonna read off what she wrote.
right. Yeah, at least it's a good beginning. I said, unfortunately, I felt like it was more symbolic than anything because they need to give her complete access to the accounts, but I mean, all we can do is keep pushing. That's what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Keep pressing. Alicia needs to get out of Jedediah's behind. Yeah, I know that was a mess too. But I don't want to. I also like it's a violation. It's rude. It's inappropriate. It's third party harassment. But at the same time, I don't want to give it too much
Energy.
energy. Yeah, because it's like at the end of the day, remember, I just tell people, well, first of all, the things that were said were not true. So if you have a question, don't believe it. Ask me and I can try to clarify. But I'm not racist. I didn't go after an innocent. She is not innocent. That elderly black woman. She is the head of the District 205 school board, and they steal money. Oh, hand over fist. And
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest. If you look on your property tax bill, District 205 will be near the top. And Nina Graham, the one who with her male companion, whoever that guy was, who came after me several times, she's the president of that board. It's no mistake that they come after me or anybody that asks questions because they cannot be exposed. Then they're not going to get the money.
Yeah, somebody's getting paid around here, and that's the most unfortunate part. And I'm to say this, Ryan, it has nothing to do with you. What I get sick and tired of people who look like me, we're turning on each other, and then we act like, oh, let's go blame somebody else when we need to go look within ourselves. See, because while we still arguing with each other and going into school council meeting and the city hall, we arguing with each other. Guess what? The community is changing. It's
Right.
changing. And at some point, I'm black, so I can say it. Ryan can't say it. All you black folks up there, soon it will not be black up there because the community is going to start reflecting what the board is going to look like. So while y'all arguing with each other, keep it up. Keep
Right.
it up.
Right. Because in a way, it's so funny. It relates to I've been reviewing a lot of Bad Bunny's Super Bowl show and how moving it was to me, but it reminds me of when he was walking through and he first started the show, and they had the old men playing dominoes and the ladies sitting out like doing their nails and all this stuff. Well, we should have like downtown Harvey. You should be able to have elderly black men playing checkers or dominoes or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and I saw
Mhm.
outside the resale shop, because the owners of the resale shop, they're very nice on Center. Like they
Oh,
will do that. He'll,
girl.
he'll bring out a folding chair and table, and then there were two elderly black men that were, playing. But see, to me, like that's normal. That's what you should have. But like you say, when people are all about raping and pillaging and taking the wealth out of the community, what's going to happen is eventually some sort of gentrification will come, and you won't see that.
It
You're
definitely is.
you're not going to be seeing like, well, look, a lot of
Look
black
at look
business,
at
the
Bronzeville.
hair
Look at
store is closed.
yes, look at Bronzeville. I remember Bronzeville when they said it was doing a gentrification. Look at 63rd Street. They're doing a gentrification. You see the university is taking
Right.
over. Quit with the extra and down with the business. Because when the girl read off what was in the bank account, I said, that ain't a lot of money for a town like ours. And
Right.
we should be arguing with the people. Where our money at? If you actually live here, you'll be more concerned and be outraged. If you've been here again 40, 50, 60 years and you not outraged and you think this is great, you don't care about your legacy.
Right. Exactly.
Just
And is
saying.
is is it really worth, sacrificing our city for a turkey
Not
or
a
a Christmas gift?
turkey. Not a turkey,
You know
Ryan.
what I mean? Right. I mean, a lot of it just comes down, or bingo. Like it comes down to like stupid
Bingo.
things like that, where it's like, you guys, like none of those things are bad, but like it's not enough to, like you said, sell out your city. What's the
Sell your
stat?
soul.
Oh yeah. Ooh, she went deep down.
That's what they do. They selling their soul.
Hallelujah, Jesus.
Okay, sure. I don't care what they say. That
I
ain't
know.
right.
Mm-hmm. What's the status with Janet? Yeah, so Janet Rogers was appointed interim clerk. So you skip my comment. Will qualify Chappelle to serve in the library board, for example? No, I mean, as far as I know, I mean, she's a resident and everything. She qualifies. Shouldn't be a problem. So I don't understand that, Solomon, your question. The clerk is Tyrone Rogers' wife. They couldn't get an honest and independent clerk. Absolutely.
No, that's what I would have wanted. Somebody independent of all this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, somebody was critiquing Key too. He means well, I think, but Michael said the alderman sitting next to Colby kept trying to make it all about him, and nobody wants to hear. I see oftentimes he'll express words of like trying to bring people together and be really nice, And I the intention I think is good, but it's just like, oh, Key, these people, they don't care. Like, unfortunately, when you're nice to them like that, they just take advantage of you. But
But I mean, he's been here forever. So I don't fault Tracy Keys for who he is as a person because those people still elected him in that spot, right? And he's just trying to say, listen, I'm trying to do the best I can without saying what he really wanted to say. That's how I took it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he just wants people to get along.
Get along, yeah.
But it's tough, it's tough because it's like, oh, Tracy, I know you mean well, but unfortunately, these people, they don't really care. The drug dealers in the streets, Harvey, that have that money put up in a shoebox somewhere, that's insane. Yeah, they definitely are making money off a lot of stuff. The alderman next to Colby, the black man, he was the only one that piped up when the policeman handled Colby. However, his soliloquies get lost. Right, that's what I mean. Like, I think Tracy had, definitely has good intentions, but a lot of times he tries to speak up, and then the other aldermen just ignore him, or they're just very disrespectful.
Oh, nasty.
Yeah.
And that one of them, I ain't gonna say the name because we gonna keep it PG. But there's one on there, she real nasty. I don't know if you remember this movie called it was House School Days. And in School Days, it used to be the light skin against the dark skin. And the light skin thought they was all snotty. And that's how she be acting when she be up there with her nose turned up in air. And some of y'all don't understand. Like, don't talk down to me. You're not the only one who got a degree up in this mug.
Right. And then did you hear the comments too about something like, well, you all need to, now that Clark's gone, you all need to do this. I'm like, no, this is your job.
That's your job.
You literally signed up for it. You make money. Like, I want a part-time job where I can make $44,000 a year and have a $25,000 expense account. Sign me up for that part-time job because I'll take it right now.
And the question is, would you do this job if you didn't get paid? But no, it's about the money. And that's my biggest thing about this Harvey situation. Where is the people who are authentically concerned about the community? Like, to prosper, to grow. Y'all just giving parts of Chicago, Harvey away, and you're demeaning the residents, and you're sucking up to the seniors because that's who's gonna go out and vote. We really need to work on getting folks out and make sure they come out them houses and vote.
Yes, please. If you haven't registered to vote, please get registered to vote. If you need help, you can ask me, Diana. You can ask any of us. We want you guys to get registered, especially our youth, our Latinos, our Indian community. All the people that you don't tend to see represent. Chappelle qualifies to be in the library board. Yeah, I think so. Beth, please share her qualifications. It appears that many of the people in the roles are on the spot due to popularity. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
So let me ask you this question then. Is Chappelle qualified to be on the school board? What is the qualification of being on a school board, a library board, or a board? That's why. What do they call that? And I remember I can't think of the name. Ethics or some kind of economic class. Something that if you have the passion to be on a board, and you doing the right thing for the people, what is your qualification to? These folks who got degrees ain't the brightest people in the book. You know what I'm saying? So
character, I think, is very, very important. That's
definitely,
to me, that's what we're lacking the most. So maybe that would be part of my answer for that, Solomon. Like, I'm most concerned about people who have good character. Did Chappelle ever work in a library? Did Cotton work at a park? Yeah, no, I think she does have some library experience. You have people in roles overseeing a budget, voting on taxes, and they're not even professionals. Make it make sense. No, I understand. Like
Yeah, from
a minimum knowledge is helpful. Yeah, you do need to have some sort of idea. I get that. Part of being a library board is that you're a citizen of Harvey and that you want what is best for the people of Harvey. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I mean, oh, I guess they want them to have had a job as in the library or in accounting or what have you.
yeah.
Now, sometimes you need a person who ain't been in it so they can have their eyes open and know what's happening. And if they don't know, they can go ask the questions.
Yes, yes, yeah, exactly. So it's not necessarily yeah, you don't have to be like an expert in libraries to be on a library board. But yeah, it's true. You should have some basic ideas like, you can, you pay your bills, you know how to balance a budget, you're a good citizen, a good resident. But I would say also like you don't lie and you don't steal. I mean, that's the number one thing because then you have people like you said that they have multiple doctorates and they're like, "Oh no, you should call me. I'm Dr. So and so. I'm Dr. Pastor Apostle Elder Shepherd, Jesus's best friend, you're gonna kiss my ring." They have all these titles. It's like, okay, but you just steal money. Like, I don't care about all your titles
Hmm.
and all the degrees you have. Like, your character's horrible.
Yes.
But they're always
Yes.
the ones that'll say, "Excuse me, that's doctor. That's Dr. Pastor Shepherd, Apostle, greatest person that Jesus ever anointed to you." And you're like, again, like you said, don't show or don't tell me, show me. Like, show me you're so
Show
great.
me.
Show me you're such
Yes.
a great person. If you have to tell me, if you have to stop me and correct me and say, "Oh, you're not respecting me enough because I go by all these titles. You don't know what I've done." It's
Hey, they
you
can
just
have the real talk. They can have the titles. You earned the title. You can have it. But at the end of the day, when you messing with my money, I need for you to be able to explain to me at a board meeting why X and Y matches up and why we where we at. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
I'm like, well, if we wait for somebody who qualified to be in the position you looking for, we still gonna have the people who got the qualification and still running over your money and stealing it from you.
Right, exactly. No, I agree. That's another reason why I want to go back to residency requirements for city staff.
They should.
I would strongly support that. Paul says, "Can a good public servant get elected in Harvey? They can in Lansing, but not in the Florida Township government." I would hope so, Paul. But I mean, we're going to work on that. That's why I'm trying to encourage as many people to run as possible. I know you are running for sixth ward. I thought I heard someone tell me there was maybe at least one or two other people that are running, which again I think is good. I'd rather have a variety to get people out and get people excited.
Mhm.
But I want a good person. And if it goes like I'd rather have at least four so that it triggers the primary. I think that would be a good thing. So that way let's say it ends up being, let's say, Tyrone and then one other person in the general, like that I think would be better than doing it like we did for mayor last time where there were only three. So it didn't trigger
Mhm.
the primary. And Marshawn, he split the vote. And then that's why Clark won instead of McCaskill.
Yeah, but I just don't want just to have for Rogers, oh, 3 or 4 people running against him, and they're just doing it just to get him off the ballot.
Right.
Because just in case one of those 3 or 4 people get in, they still have to understand and have the passion to want to do right in the
Right.
community, not just to divide the because this is
It's
a 4-year job.
right. It's not enough just to not like someone. It's like the people who
Mhm.
are like, I don't like Trump. And then they want that, like, that's their qualification. It's like, yeah, but you have to, well, what do you stand for though? You got to stand.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's a drug dealer in Harvey that has what Harvey has in the bank in a shoebox somewhere in his closet. There's no way that is all the city is sitting on. Oh yeah, like we know there's hidden money, Crook. Exactly. There's hidden money. That's why they'll do anything but tell you where it is. Some people are very educated, but they've talked down to people recently that have health
Yes.
challenges, so their education did not give them social courtesy. Right, exactly.
Yes, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty work.
Bad character, it can be found anywhere. Crook says he will make your flyer for you.
Thank you, Crook.
That's very kind. Yes, that's sweet. It reminds me of when I've tried to date and I would tell people because sometimes people are like, "Well, what do you think? Yeah, or like, what do you think about ages? You're in your 40s. Would you date like an 18-year-old, a 20-year-old? Would you date older? Would you date your age?" And I feel that way kind of about like age, where I'm just like, numbers don't tell a lot, right? Because I see, I've gone on dates with guys that have been around my age or older, and their maturity is like worse than like maybe an 18 or a 20-year-old. You know what I mean? So it's like you just never, you have to let people show you how their character is by what they do.
Mm-hmm.
There's not
Mm-hmm.
there's not really a shortcut. I can't think of a shortcut to that. Because you can't really listen to what people say. It doesn't tell you. It tells you a little bit, but it doesn't really tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. I agree, because
Like if your husband told you every day, "Oh, Diana, you're the most beautiful one. I love you. You're so awesome." Da, 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 da. And then he never takes out the trash. He like makes a mess all around the house. He is keeping you up late at night. He's just like really, rude and won't talk to you. Like, after a while you'd be like, all those things he says, they really don't mean anything.
that's why you see my eyebrow went up. I'd be like, what he on?
Exactly. Because talk is cheap.
Mm-hmm.
The
Talk
talk
is
is
cheap.
cheap, and I feel like it's always the most abusive people too. They'll be like, "Oh, well, baby, because this just happened, and I just couldn't. I had a bad day, and I couldn't help but slap you in your face, and I couldn't, da, da, da."
What?
Or you got me mad, and you should, it's all they always have. You notice it's always like an excuse. It's never their fault. There's always
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff that goes on, and that's when you have to start to really step back and try to be objective and be like, "Look, I hear what the person says, but I need to kind of turn that off right now, and I need to
Yeah.
look at what they're doing."
Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody got time for this, Otis.
Right. Exactly. Yes, exactly. But I mean, there's still, I don't know. I feel like all of our politicians are, for the most part, like abusive to us. They always say these nice things, and then they like they do horrible things. Oh, Beth says
Yeah.
I'm being very diplomatic. Oh, I'm sure, Beth. I know, Beth. I've seen some of the ways that those people who have in Dalton that have and the township, but especially Dalton, the way that they've switched sides the past few years and done all this stuff. I've seen the way that they sometimes are not, yeah, they're not the nicest to you, Beth. And I say to you and to everybody, just keep being yourself. Be
Mm-hmm.
honest, be straightforward, keep your good character because you know you never know what other people are gonna do. Oops, I lost her. She'll come back. Can a teacher sit in front of students with no qualifications? Do you want them teaching your kids? Explain the difference. Right. No, I mean, I think it's good. I think it's good to have, we're not saying it's not good for people to have experience. But the problem is you have a lot of people that have, like Janet, for instance. Janet Rogers she has years of experience being on boards. But what does she do with that? Like, so she knows how everything works, but she uses that experience, that experience that she has to take, to take money, to take resources for her own benefit and her own gain. Oops, are you back with us? We lost you for a second. You there? Hello, hello.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. I just
Okay.
I don't see you. Do you have your video on? Ah, there you go. Okay, now I see you. Now I see you. Now you're back. Congratulations, Paul, on your political campaign. Oh, Solomon's asking you if you're running for something. There have been some unkind comments recently. Right, Beth. So that's why I'm saying that to encourage you and everybody. Like, don't, when people start playing mean girls on you, because you're not playing along with their game and they're like, "Oh, you can't sit with us." It's like,
I want to go back to Solomon's question.
sure.
He asked, can a
That's fine.
teacher sit in front of a student with no qualifications? Technically, you can't do that, right? Because you have to go to school and to be able to sit in front of that student.
Mm,
Now, let's say this. What's the difference between a teacher and a substitute teacher? All you need is so many credits. You can be a substitute teacher. You
mhm,
can have a degree in another field and still be a substitute teacher, but they
mhm.
don't have the training as the teacher. But they're replacing and doing the job as a teacher so the teacher can go and do what they need for the day, right? So how do you balance the two? Do you want the substitute teacher who has some college credits to sit in for the teacher but the teacher can't get a break? Listen, and listen, because I was a sub too. And listen, some of these kids, they running out the door. And because of COVID, a lot of them fell behind. So when you address the teacher with no qualification, let's start addressing the children who need the help.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah, and I still think a lot of it comes back to character though, because I've had teachers at different times of my life at different levels that were very head smart. So they knew the content, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're the best at connecting with the students, or some were just flat out rude or mean. And that's not. I'd rather have someone who's maybe a little less of an expert in the field, but is kind and honest and actually cares, like you said. What did I miss here? So I'm not running for anything. Okay. The next Thornton Township meeting, that was tonight.
Was it?
They held their special meeting tonight, the little what's, because they do that on purpose because they didn't want me
Today's Monday
else to come. I'm not running for anything. Paul, you should put your hat in the ring. Oh, there you go, Paul. See, this
yes,
I'm voting for you. I told you that many times.
And listen, they don't want Paul in there because Paul gonna tell it, question it, and all that. They don't want nobody to
That's what we need. Monday, March 16th is the next one. That's right. Yes. So tonight they called a special one because they knew that Harvey's meeting was going on and they wanted to be able to pass all their pay all their money.
I got a question for you. So they passed to pay the bills for February. How can they do that? And February is not even over yet.
Right. That's why I firmly believe that they're doing things as far as spending money and making important decisions all the time behind closed doors. I don't know if it's probably Korean Davis, I'm guessing, maybe, but when Shirley she even said that tonight, she's like, well, we can vote on paying the bills. That doesn't mean we have the money to pay the bills. Like,
did that sound crazy?
She's I sort of get what she's saying. She sort of has a point there too, in that, what do you notice? They just do what they want to do. Remember when we had 2 months basically with no meetings? And then I always said, well, wait, you didn't vote on bills list. So how did you pay anything? They still paid everything.
But so why are we paying back money now?
So that's why, to me, it shows that they're just not transparent about anything. It's like, well, come on, let's just make sure we vote on it because we're supposed to vote on the bills list, but we really know we're gonna put the money where we want it.
Yeah, and that kind of happened with Tiffany Henry, right? The board approved those bills to be passed, to be paid, but some of them bills didn't get paid.
Right. And that's where, again, I want to see everything, lay it all out.
Yeah.
Because we have to follow up, or we don't know. Now, what did you say? What happened about your addressing Napoleon's video? I haven't seen it. Which video was that, Solomon? I did a video. I shared a video that someone else made about Napoleon. I shared that the other night. The bills get paid on the 15th and end of every month.
Twice a month?
Yeah, they do have 2 bills lists. I think that sounds about right. But anyway, yeah, it was good, you guys. Thank you. No, I'm so glad you came on.
I appreciate it, Ryan, because I was like fuming when I left out of that place. I was like, oh my God, who am I going to talk to about this?
That's exactly what, that is the whole reason I'm doing my show every night at 10, because people need to be heard, and we need to vent, we need to share, we need to be heard, we need to be there for each other.
Yes. Oh my God. This is going to be a long year. And
yeah. Don't forget to do your recommendations. And if you want to do, we can even do a show together if you want, where I'm going to, I need to get a ballot. You can get a sample ballot online for, I'll start with Harvey voters. You go download it, and I'm going to go through and just tell people, okay, this is, for this referendum, this is what I recommend, or for this position. I just want to do that because people have started early voting already. I'm like, oh shoot.
You should have been done. Okay. And I am conflicted. I'm not sure. Like, I had to go see who's running because I
Right.
don't
No,
know.
same. I've been doing, research where I can. That's why I endorsed Robert Peters for the second district, second congressional district race. But there's still some I'm looking up. So, hey,
Okay.
y'all, grace and peace. Thank you,
Yeah.
Melissa. Blood redeemed. Yeah, you did a great job with your
Yay.
comments tonight.
Okay.
That was
She
that
let
was
him
wonderful.
have it.
Yeah, and very professional, but very to the point. I like that. I like that. Like, be direct. Ryan D. Love is a great person on your stream. Oh,
Aww.
let's see.
Yes, Melissa let him have it tonight, and
Yeah.
she gave him all the IL codes. And I was like, I kept looking at the attorney sitting right there, and she gonna whisper to the Drewinski something while she was talking. I said, "Oh, about the IL codes, huh?"
Like, I could imagine something like, "Don't worry, Shirley, we got you covered, girl. Just make sure you keep paying us."
Okay, make sure our check clear.
Yes. That's why I laugh. I'm like, these people are making so much money, and then when the minute you want something, they cry poor. Oh, but we don't have the money.
No. Tyrone Rogers said, if you want to know something for you, anything, everybody.
Right. Just like, what's his name? Dominique said that too. Remember? I was
Yeah.
laughing during his comments. He's like, well, if you want to find something out, like an invoice or something, yeah, just, email or contact us. I'm like, that means nothing. You guys you just won't respond, or you'll be like, oh no.
Yeah, he's like, come in and have a seat, and they'll go through it with you. I don't want to go through that. And then they're gonna say, "But I'm little satellite place." And we can get you you can go visit it. And I'm thinking to myself, I ain't been to jail. I ain't trying to go to jail. Why would I want to go visit a jail?
I would like to check them out though. That would be interesting because All in the Cube mentioned that too. She's like, "Oh, Ryan, arrange that for us." Like, yeah, we should all request that. Anyone that wants to document or just residents.
Oh,
That would be kind of interesting to go in there. Why
that is
doesn't
true.
anyone mention the REB at any of this meeting? That's true. Now you could do that, Michael. That's something you can do during public comment. So if you want to do that, he's talking about, I think, the resident advisory board for the Harvey
Oh,
Neighborhood Network, which has a big initiative right now for beautification. So if you are a Harvey resident and you would like a free tree or some free plants for your yard, with this beautification program, please contact me. Let me know. You can just go to ryanscapechicago.com as all my info. But yeah, the Harvey Neighborhood Network is looking for residents who are interested in that. Also, there will be planters for sale, and the flowers and the dirt and everything will be supplied. So I want to say they're like $60 or $70
for a planner?
for a planter. Yeah, because they're pretty large. So that yeah, those are the main initiatives, and then there will be some cleanups, like some park cleanups, some ward cleanups. They just appointed someone to
She
guard
right.
records. Yeah,
She
exactly.
right. Cause
Janet,
you
she
ain't gonna tell me she ain't gonna pillow talk and tell her husband who asked for it for you, who got this and got that.
right, exactly. It's super shady, man. She should
Shady
not be in
shit.
any public seat. Transparency is needed in Harvey. Again, new plan in Harvey is needed. I agree, Brian.
And I agree. I wish they stopped using transparency word. Because when they say transparency, they mean we're not gonna be transparent.
Right. It is true. It's sad because it's a great word, but yeah, it gets abused. Yeah.
Definitely.
It gets
Definitely.
it gets used, but thank you guys. Yeah, if anybody else has any other
Okay.
questions or comments, let me know before we head out. I'll give you guys a second while let me take this into the room.
Well, I appreciate it, Ryan, because I saw you all the way in the back. I looked back there with all the media. I said, I refuse. I refuse to record anything up in here because that's too far. I couldn't hear nothing all the way in the back. And first of all, I was sitting on that one side, and then Ryan, I was sitting on this one side, and they had all of us moved to the middle section. Then I look over and I see everybody sitting on that side.
And then I saw, I think his name is Dean, at least Dean, maybe somebody else, but who was sitting in the front row and he was taking video.
Oh, I did see that.
And so that I was like, and again, nothing against him. I don't really know him, but because I have seen some of his videos online. But again, it's like, oh, okay. So then why does he get special privileges to do that? I don't understand.
I brought up my camera after I saw that.
I know.
I was
Like,
like, oh, I said,
feel
why don't you
too.
just bring your camera on up here? Because I don't know how you see all the way in that back.
Yeah, it's horrible, and they
That
do
was
that.
horrible.
Is the interim clerk Harvey's FOIA officer? Probably. Typically, if the
It's
clerk is. Although Liliana, even when Rosa was clerk, Liliana, what's her last name? Rodriguez, the deputy clerk. She has been the FOIA clerk for I think a few years. She may have been pardoned, but she was investigated as recently as 2022. The shame shenanigans, as Shirley asked for that video. Oh, what video were you talking about, Melissa?
we need.
I wanted to ask you that. Did you
Oh,
mean
yeah.
the video of the
She made a video. She sure did say that.
video of like the hearings or the committee hearings? I think that's probably what you meant.
And listen, and that reporter asked that same kind of question to Shirley Jawinski. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, he was good. I wonder who he is.
But
Of
he's
the
with
special
WGN.
Oh, okay. Do you know his name? The reporter?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. The special advisor. Also, there was a lady that I wanted to point out. I don't know if you guys know her, but she was I'm like, what does she do for Harvey, and how much is she getting paid when we were hiring the clerk? Did you see the lady? I guess she's doing hold on, because I'll
Wait a minute, is it the lady who told the media that she brought her up there for with a little wrap on her head?
Yes.
I
So
saw that.
let me pull it up, because I'm just like, oh, who are you? Because also she was walking around, okay, and she was not saying anything to me or all McHugh. Like, she was only talking to the big media folks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So this is but she was walking around back there talking to people and telling them stuff, and I'm like, but she was only talking to these people. There she is again. There she is again. There she is again. So but then I was like getting frustrated and irritated because I'm looking back and I'm like, well, wait, why do they get told what's going on, but then we don't? Like, she purposefully was ignoring us.
I think she was trying to let them know that there was going to be a meeting afterwards.
Yeah, she was telling them a few things. Yeah, do you see the quality of the pictures? How bad they were, though. Look at that. Because it's just too far away.
Yeah, y'all was too far away.
But yeah, here she is again. Not that again, it's fine. Like, yeah, cities normally do have media people. Oh, she was with Marshawn. That's Marshawn Tolbert. Oh, Lordy B.
Oh yeah, Marshawn Tolbert. Yeah,
Again,
something else.
The other thing you have to be aware of are the people that they only show up every election, every 4 years. You don't see them very much, and then when it's an election year, it's like all of a sudden they become a concerned citizen. You're like, oh, where have you been?
Because she hasn't been we haven't seen her at meetings ever.
This young lady, yeah, I don't know who she is, but I'm guessing that she was behaving like a PR person, and if she's a PR person, that tells me she's probably getting paid big bucks. So why are we paying her big bucks to basically spread the lies for these politicians to make them look good?
And listen, Ryan, and I mean no disrespect, but it's not what you know, it's who you know. So I wonder who she know in that community that got her that job up in there.
Exactly. So yeah, if anybody knows who the lady is, again, we should be told this stuff. It shouldn't be secret. We shouldn't be wondering like, oh, who is that person? Especially like when that would be my thing. Like, if you're even the elected officials, but especially the staff, especially at a public meeting, if I were mayor, I would make everybody have to wear a name tag. Like, you should, and they're with their name and their position, Sally, whatever, water department coordinator or something. But like, those are your constituents, those are your people. You shouldn't be sitting and wondering like, oh, I see a whole bunch of people sitting there with Korean, but I don't know who they are. You shouldn't wonder, because they literally work for you. You should know who they are.
They don't. First of all, we need to understand they don't care about the constituents. No. Once they get our money and get them seats, our name become 554 Cambridge Drive.
Right, exactly. Ooh, okay, wait. Oh, sorry, I got. Especially when we were hiring the clerk. Add Melissa in the conversation now. Oh, don't know if she wants to come up. But the guy who records the city meetings recorded it, but he said he can't give it to us. I bet they won't release it. Oh, yeah, Kimani. He should though. Marshawn's good for that. He is good. Shirley acts like the godmother. Yes.
Oh,
Ooh,
she
thank you,
nasty.
Solomon. Get all 16 folks to like. Yes. Thank you guys. If you don't mind, please like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it.
Yes, yes, and I appreciate you staying. I know it was 11:30.
I know. I'm like, okay, we should wrap this up because I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm gonna be up too late. But also, don't forget to check out D Love if you want to put your
It's okay,
channel in
Ryan. We
chat.
gotta do all that. I'm here for you today because you here. You be out there recording, even though you be in the back. I'm here for you because I had to call my friend who they say he's a racist, but I didn't know he was a racist. To talk to him.
Well,
I'm
thank
like,
you.
what the?
I appreciate it, and I want
Yeah.
people to stand up. Yeah, because we, that's not right. We should be
That's
standing
not
up
right.
for lies. That's horrible. So, I
Yeah.
appreciate you, D. Thank you.
Back at you, Ryan, and you have a good evening. And
Yes.
text me the information.
For tomorrow, I will. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
Good
Have a great
night.
evening. Au revoir.
Au revoir.